Hey everybody, Tim here with today's episode of Star Trek Voyager, Season 5, Episode 9, 30 Days. So I like the idea behind this episode because this is one of those where you can clearly tell this is what they wanted to do. But I don't like the story behind it. Watching this, so this whole episode is about Tom Paris being demoted down to ensign, and he's put in the brig for 30 days. That's clearly the idea behind the story, where some writer was like, let's demote Tom Paris. We haven't really seen demotions in Star Trek. There's the one exception is like where Admiral Kirk gets brought down to Captain Kirk. But other than that, we've only ever seen people get promoted, especially in like the Next Generation, where if you look at like the first episode of the first season and you go to the last episode of the last season, everybody and their brother is a commander by the time we get to the end. So we always see people get brought up. We never see people come down. And this is, you can tell the writer was like, we got to demote somebody. Let's do Tom. We'll demote him down to ensign. We'll throw him in the brig. Okay, why? And here's where I start to have trouble with this episode. Again, it's kind of a funny episode because it's all about like Waterworld, which I'll tell you right now is one of my favorite movies ever with Kevin Costner. That's just me moving along. So, like, that's a cool idea. Somebody was like, hey, we've also never seen this before. Let's include it. And then like if they had stopped right there, I would have been fine. Coming up with a reason to demote Tom down to an ensign is where I start having issues. So I'm going to go back to the beginning where the episode actually starts with we see Janeway taking the pip off of Tom's collar and telling him he's reduced to ensign, 30 days in the brig. And it's kind of weird because they go to the turbo shaft and Tom is just like, brig. He doesn't say a deck or anything. Like, if you have to go to the medical bay, you're going to say what deck it's on. If you have to go to the bridge, you're going to say deck 1. If you're going to go to the mess hall, you're going to say what, like, 10 forward. I mean, that's Next Generation, but you get the point. Like, for brig, like, the brig is not an entire deck. So it's kind of weird that he just says brig rather than that. Because, like I think the holodeck is deck 6. And when they have to go, they say deck 6. They don't say, take me to the holodeck. So I think that was kind of weird. I did love the part where he's doing push-ups, and he's like, and Neelix walks in, and he's like, 1, 2, 98, 99. And Neelix is like, oh, you're staying in shape. And it's like, no, bitch, he's not. So, like, that kind of made me laugh. He only can get, like, the basic nutritional value, a.k.a. bread and water, which is Neelix comment, or Tom comments on that. And this is where we have the flashback, and we see Captain Proton for, I think this is the 3rd time we've seen him now. And it's kind of funny because they comment on how Harry has fallen in love with the wrong twin at this point, and how he just has terrible taste in women. First he fell in love with a hologram, then he fell in love with the Borg, and then he fell in love with the wrong twin. And it's like, and these are great shout outs to previous episodes that I'm kind of impressed they did. So from here, they find an oceanic planet, which Chakotay says that is bigger than the Atlantic and the Pacific combined. And it's like, it's a whole planet of water. It's bigger than every ocean combined. So, I mean, that felt unnecessary for like a size reference, but whatever, we'll move past it. Ships come out of the water and come meet Voyager, and Tom's like, are they starships or submarines? And I was like, that's cheesy, but okay, I'm still with you. So the Delta Flyer ends up being the only ship that can get to the center of this water world. Even these people who live there can't get to the center. And when they get down there, there's tons of ruins. And it turns out that originally there was another planet, and this planet sucked the water off of that one to make just a water world. Nobody knows why. Nobody cares why. It's just part of the story. And slowly the water's degrading, and it ends up being like these oxygen tunnel mining things. And Voyager says, like, we can help you figure this out to stop doing these mining, and then it'll help save your planet. And they're like, no, it's fine, don't worry about it. And so we kind of flip back and forth. And like at one point, the doctor walks into the force field. Or no, the doctor goes to treat Tom. And then when he leaves, they deactivate the force field for him to walk out. And I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. But I guess for the mobile emitter, that can't penetrate. So I guess that makes sense. But anyway, so to kind of fast forward through the story, Tom and another character decide to steal the Delta Flyer, and they're going to bomb one of these oxygen mines, basically forcing the planet to settle so that way it doesn't keep losing the water. But when they do, Voyager, like Janeway says, I will destroy you if I have to. But she ends up just destroying the torpedo that the Delta Flyer fires. And then that's when we kind of get to the present, where she demotes Tom and throws him in the brig. Overall, like, I don't see Tom doing that. Like, I don't see Tom saying, like, forget the Federation, forget the Prime Directive, this planet's losing its water, and I know how to stop it, and going against everybody to steal the Delta Flyer and try to bomb a mining shaft to stop it from, like, losing its water. Like, I don't know. I don't buy that. I didn't like it, and I don't think it's like interesting. I love the fact that Tom was demoted, because he talks about, like, oh, hey, I'm in jail again. So I liked that, and I liked him being demoted. I just don't like the reason behind it. I like Tom being demoted. I like the jail. I like the water world. I think that's all great. Him bombing a mining shaft, I don't buy that for a second. So for those who have seen this one, what did you guys think? Like, did you think it made sense? Or do you think that it was the writers, like, struggling too hard to get a story going? Go ahead, let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys for everything, and I will see you guys next time for Counterpoint.